Alright, so after a few days of playtesting, I finally understand how this game works with its second class, or awakening or secession class. Basically, in other games like Guild Wars 2, you'll press your weapon swap and you'll change your weapons. And that applies to this game too. You have two types of weapons that would change with your weapon swap. This is my original, just a regular sword, and then Dark Knight, her weapon swap changes into like these two blades that form this giant blade itself. Anyways, this game also allows you to, instead of just pressing one button to change and then attack with the weapon, you just press certain buttons that automatically change into your second weapon and do a skill at the same time. So it's one step instead of two. The only problem is it doesn't change your skill or black out skills that are no longer able. It doesn't black out skills that you're no longer able to use because of your form. I'll just say it. Therefore, you have to know which button to press, and veterans will love it. And that's what makes this game fun to watch, I guess. So with my interface overlaid, you can see on my mouse I have my center. These are all regular skills. These 6 in the center that I would use. Left mouse button, right mouse button combo in addition to it. Down arrow, right mouse button, down arrow, left mouse button, up arrow, left mouse button. And then to an extension of that, these ones up here and down here are what would be the same thing if I were in my other weapons. So forward arrow, left mouse right button, down arrow, down right, down left mouse button. And that's it for my cooldowns. I'm using all 10 cooldowns that I can display already. And then here on my left hand side, I'm using all the buttons I have on my Azeron, all 26 buttons. I have 3 more, but I don't have any buttons for them physically. And you can see like most of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 skills here are for Awaken class. But there are skills that I can use for both classes, like this one, the block, the transition. This is what I was talking about. I press Wheel of Fortune, and I'll immediately go into my first weapon skill. And then I can combo it with other first weapon skills. But if I go forward and right mouse button, that's my transition into my awakening skill. And every class is different, which is why it took so long, and why it's taking me a while to get to know it. The reason I made Dark Knight again is because it was a class I was familiar with in the private servers, when this game was extremely un-user friendly and unplayer friendly. But now with seasoned servers, I get so much more rewards, and the leveling up and the enhancement system to level up my gear is not as bad as before, because we have these seasonal gears that is actually attainable. It actually makes things a lot easier. So I'm going to be farming, and you can see the solar azimuth here is at like 6:44. I'm trying to wait for 7 o'clock. That's when monsters get enraged. They get more experience, but they also do a lot more damage, which is fine now because I got used to this class. And I'm going to bring up my pets. Group slot 1. These are all my pets for farming because they gain knowledge from monsters and my weight limit. The more I kill monsters, the more easier they become. So that's why I want to gain as much knowledge as possible. And then I'll also take a scroll for experience. Actually, I'll probably take this down. And then open up my mail. Bring my experience boost for that. And I'll get going. By the time, it's going to be 7 soon anyway, so I can start and get into my spot. I think someone cleared all these guys already. And I can skill my weapon to walk faster. Or open it up.
Yeah! Hey!
And yeah, this is me farming for my levels in Black Online. See, the trick is this isn't as friendly as Guild Wars 2 when it comes to monsters killing and sharing experience. You have to find your own little spot away from other players. And you have to kill fast. Because I don't have as much health. That's why armor is actually more important. Or armor upgrades are more important for me. Because I actually take more hits, but I do so much more damage. That's me just knowing my combinations. I have to spend the time to read. If I spend the time to read, I'll know my class, I'll know the combinations. This is pretty much it. You see my meters going, my experience is going up quite a lot. Because I got 2 boosts and it's not right. But I'm also taking significant damage because this is somewhat of a glass cannon, but not completely. Sorceresses are glass cannons, but they're also extremely skilled, so they can avoid the glass hits. I'm not extremely skilled, so that's why I'm playing Dark Knight. Yeah, this is the gist of it. I'm still using directional keys and everything. Changing the weapon here. And the skills. And sometimes I have to be familiar with myself so I know that I'm going to be starting off in my old weapon. Then use those old weapon skills. And then swap. Nuke. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's almost 7 o'clock now. Oh. And that's a challenge. I have to know which weapon I'm using, which is why weapon skins are really important so I can see which ones I'm using. Almost, oh, it's 1 minute till 7. So I'm just going to close out the video here and hopefully that'll explain my new setup. And I'm going to be keeping this overlay even in Guild Wars 2 because it's nice to have it centered on my character. Because ultimately I am the puppet master for these avatars. And it really guides the view for a playback to see what button I'm pressing at the time.